You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show podcast on KPEL965.com.
News Talk 96.5, KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studios. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Pointing a finger at the Secret Service again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This time it's the House Task Force probing the first Trump assassination attempt. Days after an independent panel called for major Secret Service reforms, this House report this morning concludes what happened was
preventable and should not have happened, putting the blame on the U.S. Secret Service and what it details as stunning security failures. Namely, the House committee blames poor communication by Secret Service with the state and local police officers recruited to work the event.
Fox's Eben Brown. 15 days before the election, former President Trump will go to another toss-up state, North Carolina. He'll hold a rally in Greenville after visiting the flood-devastated Asheville area.
You know, half of our town is gone.
Aaron Durham lives in Weaverville and just told Fox this morning.
It's a travesty for small businesses, but also for families.
Vice President Harris will go to 3 battleground states today, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, with anti-Trump Republican Liz Cheney on stage with Harris. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's in Ukraine today,
announcing a $400 million military package. The drawdown includes air defense systems, Javelin anti-tank systems, mortar rounds, wire-guided missiles, and communications equipment. But questions about sustained U.S. spending in Ukraine's war with Russia have been raised should former President Trump win re-election in November.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will fly to Israel today, pushing again for a ceasefire in Gaza after Israel killed Hamas's leader. Jury selection starts today in New York City to put Daniel Penny on trial for manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide.
From his fatal chokehold on Jordan Neely on the subway last year. Court filings say witnesses reported that Neely, who was homeless, began shouting and acting erratically when he got on the train. Penny's attorneys have said Penny did not intend to kill Neely, but instead was trying to protect others and hold Neely down long enough for police to arrive.
That's Fox's C.B. Cotton outside the court. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.
Every day at 5 p.m. right here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. It's me, Joe Cunningham, with The Joe Cunningham Show, offering you news, analysis, and commentary you're not going to get anywhere else. The big news stories of the day, and even some of the headlines you may not be aware of. It's your local, state, and national news coverage from a local perspective right here. Every day, News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Check us out, The Joe Cunningham Show, every day at 5 p.m.
Since 1971, Louisiana Endowment for the Humanities has reached out to scholars, institutions, and local communities to enrich our shared culture. Want to know more about LEH and the rich culture of Louisiana? Visit leh.org for more information or to donate.
Bikers Against Child Abuse empowers children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. For more information, visit BACAworld.org. Our helpline is 866-885-9474. BACA, breaking the chains of abuse.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champagnes, located in the Oil Center. Champagnes, going the extra mile.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hi, hello. Welcome. Moon Griffon Show is pumped up as I always am because it is Monday, best day of the work week. Right, Walker? Best day of the work week? Walker ain't even woke up yet on the best day of the work week. Anyway, 844-766-6607 is the number. Always a Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. It's awesome, folks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks till election's over. And by the way, we're voting early now. You can vote every day this week except Sunday and next Monday and Tuesday. Okay? So if you want to vote, and not just the presidential races, the Public Service Commission race, more on that later. Congressional races are up. I know they're not real competitive. Where Cleo Fields get his district, the Republicans give Cleo Fields, a liberal, leftist, woke Democrat, his own district, handed to him by the Republican Party. And they can get mad at me all they want to. They shouldn't have did nothing. I was right. They were wrong. Matter of fact, it's funny when you talk to Republicans privately and representatives. I don't have any of them tell me that's not the worst vote they ever made. The worst vote they ever made. And we don't know who's going to win the House, the Senate, the presidency. And it might be the worst vote they ever made, but had they listened to your host, we wouldn't be in this problem. All they had to do was do nothing. Absolutely done. We're not voting on it. We're not giving it. Giving Cleo Fields. My Lord Jesus, help us. So he can go vote for Hakeem Jeffries and the Biden administration, Harris administration, and vote against the United States of America. Why would anybody do that? Why would anybody in their right mind do that? But give it to Louisiana. By the way, I got a piece. It's a pretty short piece. Neil Cavuto was questioning the governor of Iowa, and she told him how they did it with taxes. I was in trouble. I had debt, and it's only about a 45-second clip. She explains what Louisiana ought to be doing on this new tax plan. It's simple. It's put out there, and if we're not going to do some of the stuff she says, I don't care what they do, changing tax code, it's not going to work. You got to cut spending. You have to cut some spending. If they're not going to do it, I don't want to hear about tax changes. I don't want to hear about it. And I like a lot of what Governor Landry has put out. I saw no really cuts in spending, and if not, you can't do it. But I'll get to that later. But the first thing I want to do, if you didn't get to listen to it, Donald Trump, President Trump, by the way, whoever thought of him going work at a McDonald's and cooking French fries? And can you imagine driving up and Trump hands you your order? And so he worked at McDonald's. He's right, he worked more at McDonald's in the fast food restaurant business than Kamala Harris has ever probably been in one. She never worked in one. Nobody knows which one she worked at because she's full of lies, but that's Obama. Get around Obama, you just lie because that's what you do. That's what Satan does. Well, Obama's that's Satan's first brother. So anyway, here it is. If you didn't get a chance, how long was it, Rock? I didn't even pay attention. Huh? And we might play it a couple of times. And so this is President Trump. And you remember, Make America Great Again. They're hollering USA, USA. People want America great again, except for the liberal, Looney Tune, nuts, Marxist people in this country. Unfortunately, they're running a lot of stuff now. But here it is at the Pittsburgh game. Was it yesterday? Okay, here we go. This is the whole football stadium. They're going nuts. President Trump was there, and they're going nuts for Trump in Pittsburgh. Here we go one more time. Listen what they shouting, and look at what Harris, Biden, Obama, and them are doing to this country. It's anti-USA. Here we go. The media puts us down. The media hates the United States of America. People love this country. And I hope it's going to show between now and election because we're going to have folks, I'm just telling y'all, the election battle is far from over in 2 weeks if President Trump was to win. You got to remember Schumer, Pelosi, Obama, Soros, China, John Kerry, Al Gore. all these so-called great Democrats hate the USA. That's why they hate the MAGA movement. And I've always said, who would hate Make America Great Again? Why would anybody hate that slogan? But the media hates it, and the Democrats hate it, and the leftists hate it. And there's people hollering USA. And see, I'm hoping, like I said, my prayer is a big spiritual revival. I hope part of it comes through the election. I hope the average person wakes up, can't afford grocery prices. I don't care what they say. They're saying it's up 20% or 21% since 21. It's crazy. That's way more than that on a lot of things that you buy. I mean, just outrageous what they've done to the middle class. For Kamala Harris, however you want to say Harris's name, for her to be talking about help the middle class, they devastated the middle class. They've hurt the middle class. Buying groceries, buying medicine, your health care plan, buying vehicles. They have hurt this country, and they hurt it bad. Boy, they hurt it in the worst way. Why is people chanting USA when they see Trump? When they see Kamala Harris, are they chanting USA? Nope. They ought to be chanting China, China, China when you see her, because they don't care about giving it away. Or when they see her, they say Green New Deal, Green New Deal, Green New Deal. I mean, everywhere Trump goes, this has happened. That's why if Trump was to get beat, we're going to all go, what the hell happened? Well, remember this. It's always who counts the vote in Pittsburgh and Wisconsin and Michigan and Nevada and Arizona and Georgia. Who's counting the votes? I saw some more judge rulings in favor of not taking non-citizens off voter rolls. Folks, any party that wants non-citizens on the voting roll, that party and that person should never be elected dog catcher. Somebody that wants non-citizens like they do in California, New York, Pennsylvania, wherever, here, I don't care where, they ought to be never elected and ought to be run out of Dodge. That's anti-American to want non-citizens to vote in our country. It's anti-American to let people come across the border like we're doing. I saw 21 million is the number now. It's anti-America. It's not USA. It's damn the USA by the left who hates this country. It's not pro-America to open the border and say, come on in. And if you kill a few people and rape a bunch of people, okay. If you kill 100,000 people with fentanyl, come on. That's sick. And the Democrat Party knows this, because if Trump was to win and Republicans win, we're going to have a tough time governing. We better stop spending. We better get a grip on the money, but we better get a grip on illegals. But they know they're embedded in this country, and it's hard to move them out of here. Just like the Green New Deal. There's so much money they put in this to give people. We got even our oil and gas industry going, hey, Trump, don't take away our stuff. Because they bought into it because they were bought off. That's un-American. It's un-American for the government to be able to take money and go buy what they want. That's un-American. That's not the USA. That's damn communism. I'm just being blunt this morning because I know what's coming. I've said this from day one. If you think Democrats, the media, which is the enemy to the state, China, Soros, all these people, if you think they're going to let Donald Trump just walk back into presidency, you're wrong. It's going to be a fight the whole way for Trump to win and then to Trump to get the presidency again. That's all I'm saying. This is. If you think it'll be a little waltz in the park, and Trump better win big. They better win where they can't steal it. That's another thing. You ever hear when they say they're stealing votes, we only talk about the Democrats? What are they going to pull between now and election day? What are they going to pull on election day? You think we're going to sit here and watch Donald Trump just roll in and win without the left losing their minds because they hate the country. It's a shame. The number of people who love the country as much as you and me that vote Democrat that don't have a clue of what I'm saying because they're spiritually dead. You watch. You know how easy it is for the community organizer Obama to get people to hit the streets and burn stuff? Nothing to it with social media. We got a party that wants to control speech, control the Second Amendment and your right to protect yourself. They don't want to control the border. They don't want to control killing babies like there's nothing to it in abortion. They don't want control of fentanyl getting on our streets. They don't want to control people getting raped and killed because of some of these illegals. But they want illegals to have access to medical care. Folks, we got medical care problem because of Obamacare, Medicaid, Medicare. I mean, I'm just telling y'all it's coming. And look at the debt we've run up. This is all by design. It's all by design. Ain't nobody accidentally doing this. I'm just telling you. So let's say Trump wins. In 2 weeks from tomorrow, 2 weeks from Wednesday, whenever, we go, wow, he won again. And Democrats and Republicans got the Senate and the House. Do you think Trump, first of all, we're going to have to protect Trump's life between November 6th and January 20th. We need Trump to go in hiding. We don't need Trump in the public at that point. We need Trump to be protected like no president has ever been protected before. But watch what they pull from putting him in jail to coming up with new charges, to trying to impeach him again. These people, you got to remember, we're dealing with pure evil. The Democrat Party has become the party of hate and filth. Like I told you, they're evil. They do not care what you think, and they know the media will always have their back. This is a long run between now and January 20th. I'm just letting y'all know this. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first to admit it. I'll be the first to admit it, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong. God, I hope I'm wrong. Dude, you don't understand. I pray that I'm wrong. Let's see what happens. But I'm telling you, the big push for Trump, people want the USA great again. They don't want what Kamala Harris, Biden, and Obama has been selling, I can promise you. We'll be right back. When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases? Achieve a zero or near zero effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366 and online at MatthewJames.com.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. It's termite season. Did you know termites are responsible for over $1 billion worth of damage in Louisiana alone? For over 60 years, J&J Exterminating has been shielding homes and businesses. 100% guaranteed against termites, pests, and mosquitoes. Louisiana-owned, customer-focused. J&J Exterminating.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating.
Get the shield.
Yeah.
Line One is a business telecom provider. Line One specializes in cloud-based communication with superior customer service. If you're frustrated with phone bills you can't understand, endless hold time to customer support, and phone system that is not meeting your needs, then you need to go to Line.1 and schedule a free consultation to advance your business phone system. Line One, technology with a human touch. Go to Line.1 and tell them Moon sent you. Again, that is Line.1.
Everywhere you turn.
Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you back with us. 844-766-6607 is the number. If you'd like to be part of the program, your opportunity to be a voice. The other thing is, that's what I'm saying, the community organizer. I was talking to somebody outside. Yeah, I expect riots and stuff. These people have been sold such a lie and such a hate. And they would be young people, and it would be they could take illegals and riot when you got 20 million new ones here. Black Lives Matters can crank up again. Just simple text, email put together. That's all it is. But blacks and Hispanics and elderly and women that think they're voting for Kamala is not a security blanket. Totally opposite. The biggest security you have is your freedom. That's it. Your biggest security we have in the United States of America is freedom. Women would be hurt by Kamala Harris. If you're going, well, I'm hurt now. Yeah, she's right there with Biden, and she cannot get away from the Biden agenda because she was part of it. Biden even said that. Although I don't know if he even knows what he says half the time. But the black voter, when did Obama deliver for you? What did he deliver for you? Nothing. I mean, he's not. What did Biden deliver for you? Harris, nothing. So what do you think's going to be delivered to you? The best thing you got for you is your freedom to go be the best you can be. The best thing can happen to you is some kind of way we can get a control of this inflation so people can live. I mean, that's the best way to live is to be free to go be the best you can be. Blacks keep voting for Democrats, and there's a few that get filthy rich. But there's not a black American today that hadn't done really well, that didn't do well because of themselves. There's some that have been associated with government that done really well because of people like the left, but most black Americans are like white Americans, everything. They went out there and busted their butts and made it themselves. The problem is the Democrats have to have a dependency class. Rush Limbaugh, God bless him when you need him. Rush Limbaugh used to say they need another segment that they can use, and that's what they were hoping to do with Hispanics when they got them come across the border. They need dependency class, and that's what they create. You get mad at me for being honest. They've created a dependency class, and they're trying to create another one so they can stay in power. The elderly, I know you need your benefits, and you've been promised things, okay? But Trump being in office ain't going to take them away from you, but let me tell you what will take them away from you. A Marxist government would take them away for you because you people on Medicare, and I'm going to be on Medicare in a year and a half. People on Medicare, they're going to put these illegals ahead of you. What Obama's vision was, he even said, you get older, got a problem, give them some morphine so they feel good, make them comfortable. I'm telling you, you look at a system, we're already in the ration care because of Obamacare. And the cost and the price, they're going to price everything out of the racket. You can be lucky to get care. That's what Marxism looks like. Obama, look at him. That's Marxism. That's communism. Just look at him. That's who he is. That's who Kamala is. You're not going to be better than women. I don't understand women. I will never, and you can't tell me it's just because you want to kill babies, because I don't believe women just want to kill babies. But, man, why would women vote for Kamala? Not because she's a woman? What security is that for you? What freedom is that for you? How are your kids going to be helped when prices go out skyrocket, you can't afford anything? You're going to sit down and wait for Kamala Harris to help you? She's not helping anybody. They're not going to have the resources to help anybody if we keep going down the same way. And all my friends in the oil and gas and stuff, get away from carbon capture. Run from that crap. Run from the windmills and all that stuff. Get away from all that. We don't need none of that. If somebody wants to use, like I said, solar panels and stuff in their homes and buildings, I ain't no problem with that. People need to quit selling their farms for these solar farms. These people have got us in the wrong track, and it's the wrong way of thinking. And I go back to education in the media. I mean, they've uneducated more people than they've educated now. That's a shame. Uneducating America through the university system. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. with 5 locations. I always make it a point to visit Superior Grill. I love the food there. It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. That menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas, hand-cut steaks, and the best margaritas in the state. You go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street, and Holland Road in Baton Rouge, and they're on St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans. But look, their new location in Lafayette is now open. Lafayette, you've been clamoring for it, and now they are open on College Saloon. I want to see Superior Grill packed with folks from Acadiana. The best Mexican food with a Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill. Shreveport, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans, and now Acadiana on College Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I will see you at Superior Grill. This is Moon Griffon talking about another great Louisiana company, Hudco Roofing. Louisiana has some pretty crazy weather at times. Torrential rains, gusty winds, especially up north, hail, and of course, hurricanes. You got to remember your roof protects everything, you and your family and most of your possessions. And that's where Hudco Roofing comes in. These folks aren't just your average roofers. They're the #1 roofing company in the state. Whether you need a repair or a brand new roof, Hudco Roofing has you covered. Hudco is a CertainTeed Select shingle master and takes every roof all the way down to the decking to make sure there's no hidden damages. Hudco Roofing is also a state certified installer of the Fortified Roofing System. And that's a big deal, especially during hurricane season. Hudco specializes in residential and commercial roofing systems and coatings. Anywhere in Louisiana, you can get a free roof inspection and quote from Hudco Roofing. So go to HudcoRoofing.com. This is Moon Griffon. I trust Hudco Roofing of Louisiana, and so can you.
LA 22.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champines, located in the Oil Center. Champines, going the extra mile.
Hi, hello, welcome back. It is the Moon Griffon Show, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. If you want to be part of the program, you can always email me, moon@moongriffon.com. By the way, Rolf McCollister will join us about the Breck tax in Baton Rouge and some taxes he's against. Visit with him for a few minutes coming out of the next hour of the break. By the way, last thing I got some other things to move on in this hour, but Kamala Harris, man, shouted at a rally, "Jesus is Lord." And so Harris's response, "Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally." And she smiled. "Jesus is Lord. We at the wrong." I believe that. I don't, people are mad at, boy, they ripping their head off, but I think he was at the wrong rally too. I agree with Kamala on this. He was at the wrong rally because, Jesus, you ain't talking about no Jesus with Kamala. Now, Obama, he talked it, but he didn't walk it, but he talked it. I remember when he went to Saddleback Church and actually interviewed him, and he just told him all about how he's a big Christian. Everything he does is anti-Christian, almost everything the man does. So when she said, "Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally," she meant that. Out of the heart, the mouth speakers, we all like that, but that's in our heart. Like that first thing pop out of her head, you're at the wrong rally. Yeah, praise God. She didn't do that. She said, "You're at the wrong rally." Meant to go to the Trump rally, small rally down the street. Trump had more people at our rally, and it's not even funny how many people they got a bus to her rallies and people show up for the Trump rally. Even after he's been shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, they show up. But this is what you're going to get with her. So I would say it again, women, to blacks and people like that. I just want y'all to know who you're voting for. And this is why folks, they have to make people hate Trump. Okay? That's why they make you hate Trump more than you love America. This is why. This is the whole angle. And we don't live in a swing state. So we're not seeing the advertisement they run in these other states, but with 2 weeks to go, the hate that's going to happen now between now and then is phenomenal. I'm just getting you prepared for it, folks, because if Trump was to win, just to start, All the people that got mad about January 6th, which was a nothing burger in the big picture. Okay, somebody got killed that was killed. An unarmed veteran woman got shot by a policeman, and she had no gun on her, and nothing happened to him. And there was some people beat on, and I don't condone any of that going in. I wouldn't have went in. Okay? I'm just letting you know that. Not me. But I don't think we've seen anything yet. But I think we will. And I don't want to, but I think we will. That's why I'm telling you, don't put your guards down. Everybody go vote. Hey, you just do your part. And then get prepared, because by the grace of God, Trump wins. And the Republicans get the House and the Senate. They have beefed up the hate for Trump so much in the media, in the left, and the Democrats. I just don't think they're going to take it lightly. I don't want, that's all I'm saying. I'm not making any other prediction. I'm just telling you they're not going to take it lightly. They can't. They won't. And I don't know what it really means, but it's just very frustrating to watch. I had to watch Obama win twice with two pitiful candidates, in John McCain and Romney. They were horrible leftist type Republicans. You know, it was really bad. All righty, I want to jump gears. I got a lot to cover. So yesterday, or was it Friday, on Neil Cavuto, the Iowa governor was on there, and they made some major tax reforms. Now, Walker, we'll probably have to play this a couple of times. This is quick. It's 40 minutes, 35, 40 seconds, something like that. Not minutes, but seconds. And you're going to hear what they did in Iowa to change everything they were doing. You know, Governor Landry's trying to do some things, but I want you to go back and listen very closely. Listen to the spending cuts. They got rid of agencies altogether, and they cut government, and then they gave people back and businesses back the money they cut, and that's how you make it happen. You got to have guts to make cuts. Let people get mad. Let them get mad all they want to. We got a layer on top of layer on top of layer of bureaucracy we need to get rid of. The federal government's way worse, but the state government, we're not going to make it till we change this. Just listen to this little clip with Neil Cavuto right at the end of it. Here we go.
When I look at what I was able to do, just cutting 21 agencies to save $215 million, and I can tell you, Neil, that's conservative in 3 years. Yeah. Think of what they could do if they would cut taxes, reduce regulations, red tape, reduce the size of government, and plow those savings back into tax cuts for the American people and the business community. You don't get a better result by increasing the corporate tax rate. You don't get a better result by increasing taxes and regulations on businesses.
Spending is the core, but Governor, you said it there. Spending is the core.
All right.
Governor,
well, it is.
Real honor
it's
to have
the
you.
foundation.
I think this is something.
Okay, stop right there. We're going to play that. Now listen. Reduce the size of government spending. Spending is the core. This is what I'm preaching to the representatives and senators and to the governor. If you're not going to have spending cuts, you can't make me believe they can't go through. They got people that leave the state government all the time and start cutting back a lot of jobs. You can't make me believe they can't get rid of certain departments. You can't make me believe that. You cannot make me believe that. Understand what I'm saying. This lady said what they did. 21 agencies they cut. I bet we can do that with two blinks of an eye. You cannot keep the same number of government employees. You cannot keep the same number of entities. You cannot keep the same number of universities and tell me you're cutting spending and tell me we're getting a tax cut. You have to do something big. And you heard what she said, over 3 years. The governor has 3 years. You got to delve into spending cuts, real spending cuts, and give people back their money, including their 0.45. I'm just telling you, this lady did it. So I'm giving you the step in the right direction, but in 3 years, it made a difference. The state of Louisiana's got problems. We cannot keep spending money like this. But if we're going to do all this tax reform, and I'm not against it, all this tax reform, and we're not going to cut government spending, which is the core problem in the federal government and the state government, it can't do much with this. You know, I had Revenue Secretary Richard Nelson, a rich, smart guy. He flat out said, Moon, I'm working on the revenue side, not the spending side. In other words, I don't care about the spending side. I had Governor Landry on there. No spending cuts. I'm just telling you, this lady's got it right. Now, she's talking about our and the federal government. But until you start cutting back and letting people have their money to go up to be the best thing to be and letting businesses have their money, that's the engine that drives the train, not the caboose, not the government. But in the state of Louisiana, we want the caboose to drive the train or be in front of the train. It doesn't work that way. And I'm telling you, if we don't do it right, and you ain't got spending cuts and give people back some of their money and businesses back the money, it's going to be a problem. You can get mad at me all they want to. I'm not against it. I think what Jeff's trying to do is very commendable because he's trying to do something that ain't never been done. But it's time to let go of all the fat in government. Let it go. Let them get mad. You'll make this state a competitive state, Jeff. Governor, you will make this state. But you got to listen to this woman. She knows what she's talking about. Here, one more time. Let's play it.
When I look at what I was able to do, just cutting 21 agencies to save $215 million, and I can tell you, Neil, that's conservative, in 3 years. Yeah. Think of what they could do if they would cut taxes, reduce regulations, red tape, reduce the size of government, and plow those savings back into tax cuts for the American people and the business community. You don't get a better result by increasing the corporate tax rate. You don't get a better result by increasing taxes and regulations on businesses.
Spending is the core, but Governor, you said it there. Spending is the core. Got it, Governor.
Well, it is.
Real honor to have you. I think this is something.
All right, I want to say it again. You heard it on the Moon Griffon show for 30 years. Spending is the problem. It's the spending, stupid. It's the spending. It's the spending. It's the spending. I don't care what kind of tax. They can change the tax laws and do anything they want to do. If we don't get a hold of spending, we cannot change the Baton Rouge. We will not make a dent in anything if we don't control the spending and give people back their money. This lady says it. I mean, this is so simple. But, boy, we making it difficult. We'll see what happens. All right, got to take a break. 844-766-6607 is the number if you'd like to be part of the program. We'll take a break. It's the Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. With the summer heat here, let's talk about your AC. You're looking for a reliable, locally owned company that you can trust? Call DAP Concepts AC and Heating. They have been serving all of Acadiana, the surrounding area, and the Gulf of Mexico for over 6 years. For your home or business, DAP Concepts AC and Heating has you covered with certified technicians specializing in everything from residential to large commercial HVAC systems available 24/7. These guys are focused on providing professional quality work and ensuring customer satisfaction every step of the way. You want the professionals? You want the best? This is them. Don't miss this summer special. 0% financing, up to $3,000 off qualifying high-efficiency equipment. Not only that, they will throw in a free 12-year part and labor warranty. That's right, 12 years part and labor. Wow. Don't you want to know more about them? Call them at 337-408-8202. That's 337-408-8202. Or go to the website, adap-ac.com. That's adap-ac.com. I've been telling you about Schumacher Homes for a long time. Now, for a limited time, you can choose from 5 different financing offers and pick one that works best for you. Whether you're an active duty, military, or veteran, you can take advantage of the exclusive VA construction loan offer. You can lock in 30-year fixed financing for as low as 3.875. How about that? Looking to stay in your home and start construction right away? A stay in your home loan might be right for you. With this option, you can stay in your home during construction and not worry about moving twice. And for you first-time home buyers, we're not going to forget you. For a limited time, they're offering 30-year fixed financing as low as 3.875. Other financing offers include no-cost refinancing, conventional loans, and FHA construction loans. If you're thinking of building your dream custom home, there's no time like the present to start building. SchumacherHomes.com. SchumacherHomes.com. Let them build your dream home. They're building dream homes one at a time. Hey, folks, it's Moon Griffon. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. It is awesome to be with you. Matthew James, Business Tax Reduction Hotline. All right. Before somebody goes run to Julie Emerson or run to Jeff Landry and go, boy, Moon's ripping a plan. I didn't rip anything about that plan. Matter of fact, when Governor Landry was on with me, Governor said, Moon, tell me what you like about the plan. There's a lot to like about the plan. I'm not down. I think they're right there. I do. I think they're right there. The big step in the core and the foundation is not there, and that's cutting the spending, cutting government. I think you can get rid of, listen, there's a turnover in government employees. I don't want to fire government employees, but you got to find agencies that don't work anymore. You got to find people that are retiring and move people out. There's a 10 or 15% turnover in state government workers every day. How come they all positions you got to keep? They got people that retire every day. They've been in state government for a while. Folks, it got to be the least. When we get this attitude, state government is the least most important thing in this state, we're going to be great. It's not a cut. I'm not cutting government workers. I'm not cutting government agencies. I'm telling you, the caboose has been government. You can't put it in front of the engine. It's got to be the last thing. And you heard them. And even the core of a great tax plan has got to be spending cuts. And then what do you do with that money? Hand it right back to the taxpayers and right back to the businesses and say, y'all going to make it happen. Because really, if our problem is state government's running our economy, come on hurricane then. Come on flood. Because that's what's running our economy. We got to have some more hurricanes, flood, and COVID so we can roll. That's what happened under Bill Edwards. Bill Edwards did nothing. He hurt this state so bad in every department. Kids are getting the heck out of here because we're not changing nothing for them. You know, how many people that have graduated college said, boy, I'm staying because we got Medicaid expansion? I just want to know, is there anybody out there can call in and excited about Medicaid expansion? And your young kid graduating and goes, nope, I'm staying here. We got Medicaid expansion. Anybody? I'm just kind of curious because that was Bell. Okay, let me ask another question. If Bell Edwards didn't succeed on getting the minimum wage increase, anybody graduating college? I tell you, anybody that's smart that got out of high school that went to work, and there's a lot of smart people that never go to college, smart as hell, really smart, do great. How many of them said that, you know what? I hope they raise that minimum wage to $10 an hour. Anybody? That was Bell Edwards ran on Medicaid expansion. Okay, anybody out there said, man, I'm glad I'm paying more taxes now because that was something Bell Edwards ran on too. Higher taxes, Medicaid expansion, and minimum wage increase. How many people out there got a lot of money from the federal government because of floods and hurricanes and COVID? Well, some people made off like bandits. They got filthy rich on them. Some people got filthy rich on it because it was just the business they was in and people needed their service. Good for them. You can't run your economy on hoping to get a hurricane. I'm sorry. But me and C.B. Ferguson joked about that for years. How many people's insurance went down under 8 years of bail? You remember he went over there? Saints happened to be playing. He was going to go check. On the insurance, he made a trip over there, him and his family and all of his friends. Did he come back and tell us how the insurance rate? Did they lower insurance under? How was crime under Bill Edwards? Just kind of curious. Crime skyrocketed under Bill. Out-migration skyrocketed. Go look at the census report since 2016. I think he became governor. Damn, 2016. He's making money on the Green Deal, New Deal, a line itself. He brought the Green New Deal in here. Of course, oil and gas companies say, I'll take that money. I don't care what that stupid guy on the radio says. I'm taking the money. Somebody got to take it. If they don't give it to us, they'll give it to somebody else. Well, then go ahead and take that money. Sometimes I wonder if we watch somebody rob a bank or went to a widow's house who was worth $1 billion and took all her money and went around town giving out money. And you know good and well they stole the money from the widow, $1 billion, and he was giving out $100,000. Would you take the money? How many people would say, well, I know they stole it from that billionaire woman, that widow, but somebody going to take it. You may well give me $100,000. Man, in Louisiana with these good old boy network people, they'll go, well, you took that from the widow. Nobody knows. They say, man, you're going to give it to somebody going to take it. That's the motto of the state, unfortunately. And the media, of course, devil's advocate and the rest of them, they just go along with it. You know? They start talking about the investments that we're getting. Core of a great, great tax proposal has to have a lot of spending cuts to give people back some money. We debating on keeping the 0.45, which should have never been put on us. Should have never been put on us. You know? I'm just kind of curious. Are we gonna still, you know? That's what makes me a little nervous. Did we tackle the insurance problem this year? And the answer would be homeowners. We've done some stuff, but we didn't really tackle all the big stuff. So if we didn't tackle it, but if we moved this step in the right direction, is there another step coming? You know, I'm just kind of curious because what worries me, and I'm talking to people with tort reform and I'm talking to people in the trucking business, what makes me nervous, well, let's just go away and we'll just keep increasing insurance premiums on people who can't afford it. And I'm one of them. I'm just asking because we're going to tackle taxes, but did we tackle insurance? Is that over now? I don't know. I want a real tax reform. I think Jeff and them have got the makings of a real tax reform. But they're not going to cut the core to the problem in Louisiana, and the federal government is spending. If you're not going to deal with the core of the problem, if you're not going to deal with the base of the problem, you won't fix it. Remember, you heard that here first. You won't fix it, and things won't change. Is anybody going to fight the trial lawyers in this state? I don't see anybody doing that. Trial lawyers are going to just keep rolling us. I'm talking about the political ones, not the average one. Anyway, we got to take a break. Rolf McAllister will join us. We'll check what's going on with some taxes in Baton Rouge. Rolf says, we don't need that. By the way, last thing, Hayrod's reporting, Newsmax is reporting that Brumley could be Secretary of Education under the Trump administration. They're reporting it. I'm just sharing it with you. We'll take a break. Be right back.
Look at this outrageous insurance bill.
Man, everything Washington does makes life more expensive. Thank God we have Governor Landry.
What's he doing?
Well, while Washington's made a mess of things, inflation, gas, food, and the economy, Jeff Landry's fighting back, recruiting new jobs, trimming state government, and standing up for us.
Thank you. Everyone's struggling. Everyone except for the insurance companies. They're getting rich off record profits, while my rates keep going up.
Jeff Landry knows that. He's taking action. Jeff signed nearly 30 bills to reduce rates and vetoed a bill that lets insurance companies profit even more.
Oh, but they didn't like that.
Political insiders aren't happy, but Jeff won't slow down. He just keeps fighting for us and winning.
Governor Jeff Landry always puts families over special interests and fights for what's fair. Paid for by Protect Louisiana Values.
When the power goes out.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pro Studio.
More Americans are casting their ballots 15 days before the election. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Early in-person voting underway in 8 more states. None are considered toss-up battlegrounds. Vice President Harris will go to 3 of those today, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, where Fox's Peter Ducey reports from Royal Oak. In each stop, the vice president will be joined by an anti-Trump Republican.
Liz Cheney. The Harris campaign is trying to reach Republican women who they think are disenchanted with Donald Trump. And so expect to hear Liz Cheney talk a lot about how she thinks Donald Trump is a threat to democracy.
Now, the Harris campaign and Democrats raised another $633 million last quarter. In September alone, they took in more than double the amount of campaign cash as the Trump administration and Republicans. In about an hour, former President Trump will be in North Carolina, but Democratic Governor Roy Cooper not putting out the welcome mat.
Donald Trump is coming to Asheville today. I'm asking that he not share lies or misinformation while he is here.
The former president's been very critical of the federal response to the Hurricane Helene flooding disaster. He'll also hold a rally later in Greenville and meet with church leaders in Concord, North Carolina. The House task force investigating the first Trump assassination attempt has a report this morning calling it preventable, detailing Secret Service communication failures that's stopping the gunman Thomas Crooks.
Local officials had information on Crooks around 5 p.m. that local time. They started sending messages to the Secret Service between 5:38 and 5:51 p.m. local time. It is unclear still to this day if the detail protecting Trump ever received them. He remained on stage, and Trump was shot around 6:11, 6:12 p.m.
That's Fox Business Network's Lauren Simonetti. The former president grazed in the ear. A Trump win at the Supreme Court dismissing his ex-lawyer Michael Cohen's attempt to revive a lawsuit. Cohen alleged he was imprisoned in 2020 when President Trump was still in office after writing a book critical of him. America's listening to Fox News.
The socialists who want to move into the White House have a lot of plans for your money. One of them is to control the price of food, and this is just the start. Could 401ks and IRAs be next on their agenda? It might sound far-fetched, but so did price fixing just months ago. Hi, Donald Trump Jr. here. If you've spent decades building your nest egg, you can act now to stop your savings from falling into the hands of the socialists. It's why Americans are turning to gold, the ultimate safe haven in uncertain times. To see how easy it is to diversify your retirement with gold, get a free info kit from my friends at Birch Gold by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. Birch Gold makes it easy to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold while preserving your tax advantage status. Don't wait any longer. Protect your financial future now. Text PROTECT to the number 989898 for your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust. Paid for by
Court-appointed special advocates, or CASA, are specially trained volunteers that help secure safe homes for abused and neglected children. Don't let these innocent victims slip through the cracks of our complicated legal system. Get involved today. Call CASA at 268-5111. This nonprofit organization moment brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Are you ready for the ultimate Ragin' Cajun homecoming celebration? We've teamed up with Bryant Jewelry Buyers and Fizo Seafood, Steakhouse, Oyster Bar, and Catering to bring you a legendary Ragin' Cajun homecoming party. Imagine this, a catered feast for you and 9 of your closest friends. Plus, UL Athletics is throwing in a prime tailgate spot and 10 homecoming game tickets. Entering is simple. Just fill out the entry form on our station website or our app for your chance to win the ultimate Ragin' Cajun tailgate experience.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Always great to be with you. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline is the number. Is 844-766-6607. Of course, MatthewJames.com. MatthewJames.com. Looking for retirement? You're looking to sell your businesses? I would give John Blanchard a call. Does a great job. I'm sure other people do too, but I know he does a really good job. All right, we're joined by Rolf McCollister. I'm going to say Rolf used to be the owner of the Business Report. I know he writes still for him, and among other things. Rolf, how you doing?
Great, Moon. Good morning.
Yeah, good. Good to hear from you. So you got a big mayor's race, but you also got big taxes on the ballot. I want you to tell people before you get into it about BREC. What does it mean? And then talk a little bit about what's been going on, because just reading your article, and by the way, I've been talking to some other people. That's not everybody jumping up and down to extend these taxes. So tell us a little bit, because for people that don't know and may not be in your area.
Right. Well, I think, the idea is, well, hey, we need parks, and parks are important, and I don't argue that at all. They're important to the quality of life, but there's a whole lot going on in the parks and in the BREC office that I think should raise a lot of concern. And, this is something that, right now, BREC's spending $570,000 tax dollars in 4 months to try to put pretty pictures up and TV ads and trying to convince people how great they're doing. And, and of course, I appreciate the time here today, because, I have total $0 to share the rest of the story, and there's only 14 days away. But BREC, this is about these propositions and the real performance, I believe. And the two props, one a 10-year and one a 20-year, are going to raise more than probably $700 to $800 million that we're voting on. Wow. And BREC's a body that has taxing authority and is run by unelected members. So you have no say during the 10 to 20 years except at the tax election. And my idea is to send a message to BREC that you need to fix some things first and vote no, and tell them to get their house in order. And by that, I mean that, Baton Rouge, we need great parks. We don't have them. Young talent, we want to stay here. Talent we want to attract. They're looking for quality of life issues, and I think they're important. But there's been poor financial management, in BREC. Their audits are running 3 years late, and that's just no excuse. In fact, the state and the feds both say if you're 1 year late, we freeze all appropriations. And so we have $670,000 sitting right now with the state treasurer that BREC can't get, because they've been 3 years behind. They got to bring it all the way up to current before they can get those funds. And they're now saying we're working on 2022. And so the state and federal government won't give them any more credit or funds until they fix it. But they're asking voters in East Baton Rouge to go ahead and approve and give them these millions, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. I mean, BREC spends $100 million a year, has over 1,000 employees. And if you were going to renew a loan or extend a mortgage, and you told them, they said, well, give me your current tax return or an updated financial statement. And they go, well, I don't have it. What about last year? What about the year before? What about 3 years? No, I don't have. You'd be done. Yeah. You wouldn't get the time of day.
No, you remind me a little bit of, DOTD. I know they're looking for money, but I think everybody ought to have to show what they've been doing with the money for 5-10 years ago. And then you can say, okay, here's where the problems were, because apparently things have not been getting done over those years either. I'm looking at pictures and things of that nature. Would I be correct by saying that? I mean, you gotta be able to show me the results of what you're saying you do.
Well, they have like 180 parks, because everybody who wanted to donate land and get a deduction, they would take it. And so they would have these parks, and then, like you said, they said, well, we got to take care of 100. Well, you shouldn't have 180. You should have, sold the land, donated the land, refused the donation, but you only take what you can handle. And so they've done a poor job. You see on the front page of the Advocate today, broken down bridges. You can't even access areas. I know there's broken slides out at Highland Park. They're wrapped in orange plastic gating, wrapping around the slides. We've got the Frenchtown Education Building. It was built 2 years ago, and it's been sitting empty ever since, unused, because they can't access it, with the road that they have. And so it's just things like that the public has no idea is going on. I mean, if you read the story in the Advocate, the Central, the mayor of Central, is not a fan, because they had a a big tournament out there. And, they packed it up after 2 days because it was in such poor condition. The restrooms were being repaired. They had portalettes out there, not enough of them. They moved to Livingston Parish. They said, we're moving the whole tournament. 5,000 people moved out because Brett can't take care of business. And this is the kind of mismanagement. They spend $100 million a year. Brett, that's $250,000 a day, Moon. $250,000 a day.
Doing
or
what?
$1 million every 4 days they're spending.
Let me ask you a question.
And
they got
the
you touched upon something with so much land and so many parks. I'm looking at 184 parks. My question is, out of all those parks, are any of them maintained at all? Because once you build a park that's nice, you got that money to maintain them.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. We have 180. Some of them are less than a half acre. I mean, a third acre. That's not where you got to send crews out there to mow a third acre. I mean, this is something you sell or you donate or you give. But when Austin, which is 50% larger than we are, has 27 parks. Now they're large, nice parks instead of all these tiny little parks. Frisco, Texas, one of the fastest growing cities in America, has 6 parks. They go 100 acres to 250 acres. And they're nice parks. They're well maintained, lots of amenities. And so it's like, what do they know that we don't know? And we have, a lot of land. And, of course, Austin, that's 10,000 acres. We only have 5. And 5,000 in 180. They have 10,027. So there's just a lot of things they're not taking care of. They claim, I hate to be negative, but, because I'm an optimist and I like to solve problems. But Breck's their gold medal sham, where we got this gold medal. Well, you get to fill out the application. You don't have to send any pictures. Nobody comes and investigates. Nobody sees these pictures you're talking about seeing. And then they're saying, well, they didn't mention their zoo wasn't accredited when they filed. They didn't mention the audits behind, left all that out. And that's why I say it's fool's gold. You don't buy it. It's fool's gold, and I'm sorry. They fooled the judges, but they shouldn't fool the voters.
Let's go back to the audits, because I think that's that's really dangerous. When you're talking about the money you're talking about, Rolf. Yeah. Rolf McAllister, my special guest. So when's the last audit they were able to look at that they can say, and then when they looked at these audits, did they give them passing flying colors, or they just never been doing any of the audits of their books at all? They've not been able to report anything.
Yeah, well, they filed them, like I said, they're late. They're supposed to file, like, for instance, 2023 should have been filed in June of 24. Well, in June of 24, they filed 2021.
Oh my God!
And in that they found theft of over $70,000. One person sold $60,000, another sold equipment, and so it's kind of like, wow, we just caught this, and they go, we're working on that, and it's like, well, where's 22 and 23? Well, we're working on those and so forth. Well, here 24 is going to be due next June, and they still haven't filed 22, 23, and and the point is, how do voters? Well, let's see how you're doing. Let's see your financials. Well, you're not going to see them before Election Day. Really? I don't get to see your financials before Election Day, but I got to vote?
Yeah,
surprise.
That can be typical government everywhere we go, but that's a lot of money. I don't care how many employees, and I agree with you. 184 parks. Do you think that the size? Now you know the size better than I do, even though I'm from around the area. You think anything more than 50 parks would be about right? About 50? Maybe 60? What about a number? Is there a number?
Yeah, well, I looked at them last night. I've looked over the list twice. It's all on the website. It has the size of the park and all that. And, of course, some of them they show, like Sandy Creek, it's closed. It's showing it on the site like we have this one. You can't even access it. The educational building there at Frenchtown, they built it 2 years ago. It's been sitting empty. New building for 2 years.
How much the building cost? $2 million?
Oh yeah, I don't even know what that building cost on the education. But these are the kind of things I hear people tell me. The restrooms are locked. They have to, if they do an event there, they got to bring in portalettes. I mean, it's just a poorly run operation, for the capital city. And when you have $100 million a year, you think, I know that they have a few donations, but not many, because a lot of people are like, I'm not going to put my name on it. and then have it poorly maintained, and then it reflect poorly on the donor. So they're just like I said, a lot of these they should go and say, look, we're going to donate it to the neighborhood association. Mm-hmm. You run your park. Here it is. Hand it over. Now people say, well, you didn't sell it. Say, look, I got it off my rolls. I don't have to maintain it. I don't have to spend money to keep it up. And the neighborhood, well, obviously it's in their neighborhood. They'll keep it up. Give it to a church. Give it to a nonprofit if they'll take some of these and say, look, we want to trim our rolls and get back to the big parks, the Highland parks, the city parks, the zoo area up there, the community parks, the bayou, the lagoon, or whatever. We're going to have some great ones, and we're going to maintain those. We're going to maybe lower our employee costs, be able to have more money. It's sort of like the schools. Right now, EBR has some schools with a third occupancy. Wow. And 1/3 of all the schools in the EBR system are 50% or lower occupancy.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to have to maintain the whole school, air condition the whole school, and you only have half. And, instead of combining some of those and filling them up and eliminating the cost to maintain these others. I mean, you got to be smart. You got to do things different. Yeah. Things change. And that's where I'm a big one on best practice. What are these other cities doing in their park systems? And I see we have weak leadership. I mean, Corey's a lawyer, running a park system, and you've got, a bunch of commissioners all unelected. What do they know about parks, maintaining parks? They're appointed by the council. I mean, they're political appointees. So, it's just a lot of things. And I say, they come into the voters and say, hey, guys, we need to re-up. I mean, they just roll forward their millage, too.
Yeah, hold on. Hold your thought right there, because I got a couple more big questions for you. Come back and do one more segment. Rolf McCollister, my special guest, the big tax vote with Breck. Wow, a lot of things you don't know. But we'll ask him a couple more questions when we get back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Take a break. Be right back.
As Louisiana's only fiberglass manufacturer and fabricator, C-Safe Fiberglass Grading and Structural Systems has provided corrosion-resistant products to the Gulf Coast for over 45 years. Our fiberglass grading, cable trays, and structural shapes are ideal to replace corroded, rotting building products and can be custom fabricated by the best fiberglass craftsmen in the world, right here in Lafayette. Contact C-Safe or visit our website at csafe.com. That's SEA like the ocean, SAFE.com.
If you've got some projects to do around the house and you need the voice of experience, of local voice, somebody that can help you and knows Louisiana, you need to check out Stein Home & Yard. They're a Louisiana company, founded, established here. They've been based here. Their story dates back all the way to 1946. Stein Home & Yard has all the things you need to make your house ready for fall. Great deals on fall plants like mums, as well as all sorts of handy items you need for your house. Need to upgrade your power tool game? They've got great deals on DeWalt power tools. They also have great deals on grills for your next tailgate for the big game this weekend. Traeger pellet grills, Weber grills, Charbroil, so many great brands, and it's all right there at your fingertips. Just pull them up, steinhome.com. Steinhome.com is where you need to go to find the greatest deals on your home improvement needs. Steinhome.com, a great Louisiana company.
This is Moon Griffon. The sun has never raised its rates, but your local energy company sure has. Solar Louisiana can install residential home solar systems with huge battery storage, or they can add batteries to your existing system. If there's an outage, you are sitting pretty with all the electricity you need. Imagine an electric bill so low, you can pay it with pocket change you find in your couch. Solar Louisiana has the experience you need to make the right decision. Online at solarlouisiana.net. Your energy independence company, Solar Louisiana.
If you're
Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Louisiana-owned Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Call Tony Arpino. I have known him for years. Hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you back with us. 844-766-6607 is the number. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Rolf McCollister, my special guest. And by the way, you can read more about this in the Baton Rouge Business Report. Go check it out. Rolf's got the whole deal about this. One of the things that you said, one of the things I want to add, let me ask you the big question, because one of the things people are going to say, and I bet you already heard this, well, if you vote this down, we're not going to be able to operate. We're going to lose all these jobs. We're not going to be able to do anything with the parks. How do you answer that? How do you answer when somebody tells you that? By the way, I don't believe in just throwing money away either. I think you might be better off doing something else. But how do you answer that question?
Well, the taxes they're collecting right now, will cover all of next year. So the idea is that they're collecting taxes now that they're going to take care of everything now. If it gets voted down, then Breck's going to have to get on the hump and start saying, what are you going to do different? How are we going to change this? What are we going to do to gain the public's trust? And they're going to have to look at whether they can get a special tax election called for next year and saying, hey, we need to get an extra cash in the first 3/4 of the year so that we can get the tax notices out to not miss a beat. But
so in other words, it won't die. They can come up with a plan, and people will approve the plan if they tell them what they're going to do. But who can change the way, Rolf, this thing is set up right now with the people running it and things and that? How does that work?
Yeah. Well, that's where, again, I think that the commission obviously hires the CEO, and the council and the other couple of bodies name the commission. And this is where I think the mayors, this ought to be an issue in the mayor's race. The mayor, the chamber, these others ought to get involved in saying, hey, this is important to us. And, we can't just say, oh, that's not my job. I don't have anything to do with that. Hey, just like schools, just like parks, it all affects economic development, quality of life. Moon, we're losing people.
Yep.
People are leaving.
Well, let me ask you a quick question, though.
In the South.
Yeah, I'm curious about this. You mentioned the chamber and people like that. I don't want to throw them on the bus. Where are they on this Breck tax? That would be my question.
Well,
are they in for it, against it? Are they saying anything?
Yeah.
Where are these people that you just mentioned on this tax?
I hear you. Look, I've sent the information just like I sent it to you, and you said, hey, you want to come on and share the information. Well, I sent it to the mayor candidates. I've sent it to these other groups, and I've sent it to other media saying, hey, folks, you got to inform the public before they vote and not after the fact. We've already been burned before on the CATS tax, which is not 50% ridership as it was before. We've been burned on COA, some of these things. The millions. Nobody holds these bodies accountable.
No.
That's what blows me away is that all these bodies with monies, and it's like, who's watching them? You know what I'm saying?
Rolf, I've been doing this. I've been doing this 31 years. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by a lot here. But that gets a little bit more local. But the point being is that, and I know the point you're making, and you're right. But if they pass the tax, you're not going to see any changes. And if you pass the tax, that means it's business as usual.
Yeah, they got a 10-year and a 20-year. You won't see it again for a decade before you vote on one of them, and 2 decades on the other. And and the thing they've had 7 finance directors or CFOs since 2010, and the current one hired this summer is the first cousin of the CEO, Corey Wilson. And people don't know that. They don't know that. And then, the other thing is that Corey makes $200,000 a year. That's more than our mayor. Mm-hmm. But, I looked on there and somebody calls me with this information and says, hey, check this out. He's on a local law firm website doing mediation as a side gig. Mm. I'm going like, what is this? You don't have time to clean up the mess here at Breck, but you have time to do other business. And so that's where I'm saying fix it first. Why do you want our money and saying, then you trust us? We've already seen it, what you've done, and I don't trust you. And so the idea is you fix it first, and then we'll come back and vote on it. But, if I don't force you to change now, because like you said, well, what if you don't do it? Well, that's like this temporary tax is about to go off. Oh, Moon, if we let this thing go off, it's going to hurt our college. We can't do that. Well, then we got no choice. Why even have an election? Oh, we don't have a choice, so we just let it go. It's like,
if you know me at all, I get frustrated with them kind of statements as well. I don't understand you. Yeah. We don't fix it, and we can't fix it, but you don't try to fix it. Yeah. In your case on this tax, if they would beat it, there's plenty of enough money for them to come back and say, okay, let's get our audit straight. Let's get everything. Show us what you're going to do. And then it seemed like to me, and I'm going to be blunt, you need a bunch of new leadership. If it gets beat, all of them ought to resign and somebody else ought to take over. That's just my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with that. The leadership and the commission, they all should be held accountable. And the public said, start over, and we'll give you a fresh start.
By the way,
I appreciate the time.
Yes, sir. But anybody want to read it, go to Baton Rouge Business Report, and you can check it out and get in touch with Rolf. All right, Rolf, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. All right. Bye-bye. All right, be back in a minute. I've been bragging about Dino Hardwoods for a long time. A good friend, Charles Altman. They do an excellent job. And if you're looking for unique or hard-to-find hardwood lumber, plywood, and molding, is Dino Hardwoods. That's where you need to go. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Trust Dino Hardwoods for all your hardwood lumber and cypress needs. With the holiday season fast approaching, as you know, a timeless handmade gift using quality lumber by Dino just means more. With 3 great locations to serve you now, Broussard, Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, and now he's expanded in Tyler, Texas. Folks, there's something for every discerning woodworker at Dino. Go to DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com, and check out the unique and hard-to-find hardwood, lumber, plywood, and molding that you can't just find anywhere. Charles Altman, trust me, is not a better man in the business. He knows what he's doing, and he wants to service you. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com.
If you are a loved one or suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metayer.
We help people through their detox with minimal withdrawal symptoms. Even though it's a 10-day treatment, I look at the first 4 or 5 days as the brain restoration piece. And when the brain restoration piece turns on, that's when we have patients go, wow, a light bulb turned on or a switch was turned on. All of a sudden, their prefrontal cortex is working and their midbrain is also working. They're not craving. They're thinking clearly. They see things clearly and they have more confidence.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 225-755-9566.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
225-755-9566. 755-9566. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
Give
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline, 844-766-6607 is the number if you'd like to be a part of the program. It's your opportunity to be a voice. Boy, what a mess with Breck. But a lot of these government agencies work like this. It's a government entity that was never elected. I mean, can you imagine? $600-700 million, $100 million. I mean, it's incredible. And then you got parks that don't even work, that are not feasible, that don't work right. That's what happens with donations, though, and that's what happens with Louisiana. We build buildings we don't use. We do that all the time. And we waste that money. This is what we don't have to pay, and that's why you got to give us a bunch of tax breaks, is because of stuff like this. People paying for something they're not getting. Now, you know, when you're using your own money and you walk in a grocery store and you buy $100 worth of groceries, although you used to buy something for $50, that's $100, but you're getting something for it. You know what you're getting when you give them the money. That's a tax that, like every one of them, they misuse it and abuse it. That's typical what happens in Louisiana and the local communities, state. The federal government's even worse. We don't change anything. We don't stop anything. And I think that is a good one to vote against to get the attention. And I think if you listen to Rolf McAllister, what he's saying, look, me and Rolf have never agreed on everything, and that's okay. But I agree with him on this. You got to get the attention of some of these entities. You got to get their attention. And the way you do is tell them you're taking away their money. Somebody's been doing a poor job. I mean, you ain't got to play by the rules and the laws. Don't make any sense to me. I mean, that looks like something you can beat. The money's still going in, and then whoever oversees it needs to say, okay, we're going to do it different. We're going to get some new people in here. I'm not being ugly to anybody. I'm just telling you, and that's an example of Louisiana government at its, I said at its best, but at its worst. And I just shake my head. We We disrespect money in this country, in this state, more than anything I've ever seen. Totally disrespected. You know, and here's the thing: the money that's mostly disrespected ain't even their money. It's me and your money. It ain't even their money. That's tax dollars going into people. 108. Look, I'm from the Plaquemine area, but I've spent a lot of time at Baton Rouge. And it's changed a lot probably in the last 45, 63. I've been gone for 45 years. I get it, and it's a lot of growth. 184 parks sound like a lot. And any kind of maintenance you have on a park that's not being used in buildings that were just built, not being used, sound like we're in China. China got cities they built with nobody there, just to act like they were doing something. It's just incredible. One of the other things I'm kind of getting a kick out of, but I have people mention it to me. Psycho Bill Cassidy. Psycho Bill Cassidy is out there raising a lot of money. Okay, a lot of it. That's why he's giving out a lot of federal money. But Psycho Bill don't care about budgets, and he's all into the Green New Deal and what he's doing. Let me tell you what they're doing, because I just got some insight on it. Okay, if you've seen polls, and remember, we're a closed primary in 2026. He's got to run in a Republican primary. He's got to face Republican voters face to face. I will be a Republican in 2026 because I'm going to vote against Cassidy. And I'm going to drive as many people that aren't Republicans that go over there and vote against Cassidy. I know several of us are going to do that. I ain't even said nothing about it. But anyway, what they're trying to do is scare everybody away because he's a sitting United States senator. He's going to raise some money, folks. He's going to do projects to help people get filthy rich. Money's going to come back to him. He knows what I'm saying is true. He's going to have unbelievable amount of money against anybody that runs against him. But here's the kicker. Most of the advertisement he's going to be running is going to fall on deaf ears because only Republicans can vote in a Republican primary. And I'm telling you right now, there are people that cannot wait to vote against Bill Cassidy. I do not care how much money he's got. I do not care how he beats up other candidates. He's got to look in the mirror for what he's done to this country and what he did to Trump and what he did with a lot of his votes and his smart-ass responses on everything. Psycho Bill, Republicans are waiting for you for that closed primary. I don't care how much he spends. Most of the money he spends is going to go on people that will never vote. The people that vote in these closed primaries are usually more conservative, and the conservatives will not be voting for Psycho Bill Cassidy. They're not doing it. So the deal is they want to raise as much money where people won't be able to raise as much money. He can raise money because he raised it on the back of the people. He's making sure federal money goes their way. In the Green New Deal, he's all pumped up about carbon capture, the dumbest thing ever invented. By far the dumbest thing. I can't think of nothing dumber than carbon capture. But, man, throw some money at it. It's a great thing now. Great thing. You know? And so he's billing money, and so people say, oh, he's billing a lot of money. So still got to run the closed primary. He's still got to run against voters like me and you. I know Republicans have rejected him all over the state. He very seldom gets to go to a Republican function. Some of these Republican groups and women groups have just rejected him. He's raising money because of the money he's passing out. He's going to do that for the next 2 years. He wants to have a chest full of money that's gigantic, which will then again scare people off. This is a Mitt Romney Republican, he is. This is a John McCain Republican. These are the same Republicans that he's with that's supporting Kamala Harris. I mean, I'm just telling you, all this money means nothing in that closed primary. It's not. Now, you're going to have some big shots. I saw Cameron half-ass Henry and support him. I saw Billy Nunn and them support him. That's fine. That don't mean nothing to me. Henry's a problem. I didn't get to that today, but he's a big problem for the state changing, by the way. Cameron Henry's a big problem. That's another story for another day. But Psycho Bill can raise all the money he wants to. I'm telling y'all, people are not going to forget what he did. They're not going to forget somebody's voting record. You know? They're not going to forget what Bill Cassidy did. Bill Cassidy think people have gone away and forgot. They haven't. But they're going to start throwing that money out there. They're going to start throwing that money out there so they can make people, he's raising that kind of money, I guess he's going to win. Don't buy into it. Remember what I told y'all. This is a closed primary. It's a different deal. And just trust me. It's a big time different when I know who's going to vote. Okay, I know who's going to vote, and the people that like him are either whacked out Republicans or Democrats. Matter of fact, WWL reported he had 5.8 million ahead of 2026. It means nothing, folks. Just trust me. He's going to raise the money. Ain't going to matter. He's not going to matter. I promise y'all, it won't matter in a closed primary in Louisiana. People want to beat him. I'm just telling you, he can raise $20 million. I don't care. They say, well, WWF so he raised more money than any senator. Yes, he's the most in trouble Republican senator in the whole country. Of course he's going to raise money. You know? We got a lot of questions. He won't come back on my program. I just think he ought to come back on the program. Why don't he get some real questions for a change? He's so tied into the Green New Deal, which is a liberal, leftist, Democrat, Bell Edwards type way. He's raising money. Don't even worry about him raising money. Got $5.8 million, $1 million in Super PAC. Don't even worry about that, folks. Trust me, his day's coming, and it's called a Republican primary, and it won't matter how much money he has. I'll be being a Republican again. I will vote against him, too. I'll be right there with you. Trust me. It ain't what you think it is. He can raise all the money he wants to. All the money he wants to. Republicans are going after Cassidy. Let him raise it. They will smash him in a closed primary. I wonder if he's going to run as a Democrat. I wonder if he'll change his party and run as a Democrat. Okay? Which will really smash him. But he'll make it to the end. All right, we got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Take a break. Be right back. Nestled in gently rolling hills in North Louisiana is a place that produces the finest Louisiana wines around, Landry Vineyards. This place is phenomenal. Not only are they passionate about growing wine grapes and making Landry Vineyards wine, they also have cottages and RV sites you can rent, tours, and live music on Saturdays and tastings Monday through Saturday. Available in over 650 stores throughout Louisiana, I encourage you to visit and try Landry wine direct from Landry Vineyards. This is another great Louisiana company that has my full support, and they are Louisiana certified. A red blend they labeled Bayoutage, Blackberry Merlot, Cabs, Rosé, Petite Syrah, dry and sweet whites, and many, many other wines. Learn more about their wines and their vineyard online at LandryVineyards.com. This is Moon Griffon. My lovely bride and I love the wines from this great Louisiana company, Landry Vineyards, and so will you. Go visit their beautiful winery and find them in your local grocery store. If they don't have Landry Vineyards wine, ask and ask again. LandryVineyards.com. Woo, good wine right here.
It started with direct messages. That's how they got to my son. Gavin was just 17 and looking forward to college. He was contacted by online predators pretending to be a teenage girl. He was the victim of sexual extortion. In less than 2 hours after that first message, Gavin died by suicide. It's a pain I don't want any other parent to feel. Social media is causing an epidemic of bullying, anxiety, and depression, and it's leaving kids vulnerable to the kind of predators that targeted my son. We have to hold big tech accountable and pass the Kids Online Safety Act. I couldn't protect my son, but now it's my mission to make sure all kids are protected. I'm a father and a proud conservative, and I'm here to tell Speaker Johnson, pass the Kids Online Safety Act, because nothing is more important than protecting our kids.
Paid for by Issue One Action, which is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. IssueOneAction.org.
Craig Morrell.
Hello, welcome back. Moon Fawn Show. Always great to be with you on a beautiful Monday. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, you can do that way. By the way, going back to the presidential stuff, McDonald's cook Kamala, no record of her ever working for McDonald's. None. McDonald's released a statement Sunday admitting it has no record of Kamala Harris ever working there, as she has repeatedly claimed. None. She has lied, but she's working with Obama. When you work with Obama, you lie. You just lie. Don't worry about telling the truth. But it's amazing. I mean, folks, why would I tell you I work at McDonald's and I never did? I mean, why make up those type of lies? See, This is, people say, well, this is not a scandal. You see the younger people who are out there struggling, going to school or working and going to school or just working. When they see something like that with a candidate, they start thinking, why would someone just lie about where they worked at? Somebody made a good point. She's going to lie about working at McDonald's. You think she'll lie about health care? They work at McDonald's, for God's sake, which, by the way, is a reputable business. If you'll lie about that, you think you'll lie about the economy? You think you'll lie about health care, the economy? You think you'll lie about illegals, per se? Lie about everything. You can't tell the truth about where you worked. I don't think the woman's ever really worked, to be honest with you. You know, they calling it, the social media calling it stolen McVeiler. You know, that's just like Walt's lying about his military record. Trump went over there and worked at McDonald's and a Pennsylvania drive-thru. That had to be fun for those people. I mean, it just had to be fun. This woman out there telling people she worked at McDonald's. I mean, I don't understand the lying part anyway. I don't understand the lying part trying to get elected, man, showing what these people will say and do. I mean, it's on the Republican side, too. They do the same. They do some of this crap, too. But, man, on the left, it's always a lie. And McDonald's had to release a statement. She lied so much and stuck to it. They had to release a statement. There's no record of Kamala Harris ever working at McDonald's for the company, but they made it clear she is welcome to work at one of its restaurants, as Trump did earlier. So now Kamala can go to McDonald's and work at one. I know where I'd put her to do the work. I wouldn't put it at the front window. If Kamala wants to work at McDonald's, if it was me and they came to mind, I would ask if she'd mind being latrine orderly. That's what I'd do, latrine orderly. I mean, Andy Griffith did it. Barney Fife did it. Why can't she do it? Anyway, so that'll be what she does next, because once again, our whole thing, there's no sincerity about the woman, about nothing. You know, none whatsoever. By the way, they're now saying Harris is scaling back her campaign trail presence. I don't blame her. She needs to shut up and get out of public. That's a fact. She needs to. But anyway, I want to go back to just the one thing I was talking to before I went to break. I don't care if Cassidy raises $25 million, and he's raising it because he's making sure, like the left, he's giving out plenty of money with the Green New Deal. Okay? Folks, trust me. Trust me. I'm just letting you know. You can raise all the money he wants to. He cannot hide. He cannot hide from the fact of what he did with Trump and other things that he did. Matter of fact, if you notice, the only place you see Cassidy, CNN, MSNBC, his ties with Romney, Murkowski, and all these people he's stuck with. He lied to us when we told him do not impeach Trump. He told us then, that was almost 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. He said, y'all wait till everything comes out. Well, that was 3.5 years ago. I've seen everything that come out on what happened on January 6th, and I ain't seen one thing that Cassidy said could have made me want him to vote to impeach President Trump. He sits around and runs around. Instead of him asking him how much money he raised, I'd make him say who you vote for. Why won't he say Donald Trump? Because he's put his foot in his mouth and foot in his rear end. That's why. Folks, he's put himself in this bind. What if Trump becomes president? You think Psycho Bill's going to run as a Republican? Trump will endorse anybody before they endorse him. And I've heard of 3 or 4 candidates out there that want to run. And they all make a better conservative than he does. You know? It's, I'm telling you, Psycho did this to himself. He outsmarted himself, which ain't too hard to do. Now, folks, you people out there getting mad about me about Psycho Bill, have him come on the program. I'll show him all the respect that he needs. I will. I'll be very respectful. He won't come answer one question on this program. He'll go on WWL and some of those stations. He won't answer any. And like I said, he doesn't get invited to many. Folks, trust me. I won't be wrong on this one. What if they put Bell Edwards? It won't matter. Bell Edwards can't get elected at Senate on the Senate side because Psycho Bill's not going to be elected on the Republican side. If Edwards runs, he's going to get blown away. That's blown out. That's why he didn't run against Kennedy. It got blown out. And now y'all really seeing how bad he made Louisiana? Don't worry about that. Psycho Bill, I saw another poll yesterday. These polls got him in such low numbers, folks, it's outrageous. These polls that have been given to me about how low he is. Can't use them publicly. They are low. They're so low. Hell, I might beat him. Of course, I ain't running. They're low, folks. I'm not worried about what money you raise. Don't buy in to anything, please. Somebody named Bill Cassidy, the carbon capture king. Hey, I like that. Psycho Bill, the carbon capture king. Be a little catchy there. All right, the rest of y'all leaving us. God bless. Hang around, Moon Griffon Show. Let's go to the Listen Live. And you can hear one more hour. I got some great guests coming up, too. National guests on debt and on the media. We'll take a break. Be right back. For the rest of you, God bless.
Look at this outrageous insurance bill.
Man, everything Washington does makes life more expensive. Thank God we have Governor Landry.
What's he doing?
Well, while Washington's made a mess of things, inflation, gas, food, and the economy, Jeff Landry's fighting back, recruiting new jobs, trimming state government, and standing up for us.
Thank you. Everyone's struggling. Everyone except for the insurance companies. They're getting rich off record profits, while my rates keep going up.
Jeff Landry knows that. He's taking action. Jeff signed nearly 30 bills to reduce rates and vetoed a bill that lets insurance companies profit even more.
Oh. But they didn't like that.
Political insiders aren't happy, but Jeff won't slow down. He just keeps fighting for us and winning.
Governor Jeff Landry always puts families over special interests and fights for what's fair. Paid for by Protect Louisiana Values.
For the absolute best in local Cajun food, check out Prejean's in their 2 locations in Carencro and Broussard today.